So I printed out the pieces for the smash ball. These are just regular petg. Nothing magical about the print settings. Just happen to have some black petg, and I ordered some clear petg. I've never actually used this stuff, but it looks like it. I think it'll refract the light that I want it to. I think white would have been a little bit too opaque, but this translucent stuff looks pretty good. So yeah, these are basically fresh off the printer. So I'm just gonna prep them, clean them off, and get them ready to go. So I had originally thought of a few different ways I thought about making this. I knew I wanted it to look kind of like this, you know, black ring and a opaque translucent shell, but wasn't sure how I was going to do the shell. I had thought about 3D printing a mold or 3D printing a part like this, cleaning it up, and then making like silicone mold out of it, which would give a very great consistent translucency and no dark spots. But it's been a lot of work and time just to make a one-off part and mold. If I were to make 10 of these, I absolutely would. But with just one, it was not really worth the effort. I had thought about taking a ball, like a 10-inch ball-ish, whether it be cardboard or something, and cutting it up and using that as a base or mold. But then again, kind of a pain in the butt. So I want to see how far I can get with translucent petg, because I think with enough care, we can actually get a really good looking translucent material with this that doesn't have a lot of shadows. I don't know if you can tell, but this piece kind of cracked. It's not completely split, but it's kind of hanging out like a diving board. So I'm gonna go clean that up. Yeah, that's a bummer. It didn't really fuse well. I'm gonna clean that up with or fix it up with some super glue. Pardon my mess. I was just actually doing some work on my truck as the super glue is drying. Alright, so what I want to do is do a dry fit of these guys. Not if it's perfect. I'm definitely going to be sanding and cleaning them up later, but I want to get them close. So I would have used the, normally I like the yellow stuff better, the JB Quick, but since moving into this shop, I'm kind of living out of two spaces, and I think I forgot that today. I thought I had it here, but I don't. I'm gonna do a clear coat on these guys while that ball is curing with the epoxy. Since this is like a 2.5 hour cure, I figure I can get one coat done tonight or today, and yeah, see how it looks tomorrow. Because I think this is gonna need more attention than the black ball. Since this is clear, I'm gonna have to be a lot more careful. All right, sure you all know the process by now. It's 2 parts of the big stuff, 1 part of the small stuff, ish. And the stuff is actually fairly forgiving in the ratio. Either it's fairly forgiving or I'm damn good about eyeballing it. Oh. That kicked quick. Anyway, so we're today's tomorrow, and these have come out all right. Kind of where I expected. The bottom part of the curves came out very smooth, but the top part that was super rough. It's definitely going to need another coat. So this one for sure. This one has some dry spots on it where the epoxy didn't really wet. There's some where the epoxy dripped down, it's kind of built up on the side, so that's gonna have to be sanded down. Same thing on this one, very smooth here, but kind of rough towards the top. Not super bad, kind of where I expected it. This one looks pretty good. So that's great. I think another coat on that. Let's see how this came out. It came out not too bad. I expected it to, honestly I expected it not to end up as flush as it is. So this is definitely gonna need some sanding. I'm gonna try bondo instead of this stuff on this, because I think it's gonna be kind of a pain in the ass to sand this to fill in all these voids. These voids are, well, not so good for that, I don't think. So I'm gonna try bondo. Smashball debrief. This took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. I mean, I've got haircut. I mean, this took some real time. And I'm really happy how the translucent part came out. I've never printed with translucent petg before. It came out okay. Honestly, I wanted it to come out a lot more cleaner. So initially I planned to do the black piece, paint that black, and then have the clear stuff or the translucent portion kind of mate well with it, and it didn't really end up doing that. The epoxy took a ton of coats to get right, and that didn't really work out. I tried the white paint. The white paint was too dark, so I just scraped that off, and then with the sanding marks, it actually came out pretty good. It's not as even as I really wanted to. I wanted a little bit more uniform, light diffuser, kind of like this stuff, but with the scratches, it looks all right. Again, I kind of wanted to have a very clean, shiny, perfect ball, but came out scratched up, it looks weathered. So I'm gonna say that. The bondo worked great. The epoxy, not as much, just because I had a lot of voids, and it just takes 2.5 hours to cure every time, and it wets on so thin, it just took too much time. So I didn't really get in all the voids I needed to get. I only have a hand sander, and this really could have used more sanding, but honestly, I didn't feel like putting more time into it. So all in all, it looks pretty good. That's why the camera's over there. Close up, there's definitely some witness marks of definitely my first time doing this, but some good lessons for next time. The clear petg is really cool though. That looks great. Bondo worked great on the black. What I would do next time would put the whole thing together and then worry about making it blend and then painting it last. The paint held up pretty well. Yeah, honestly, not too bad. It looks cool as hell though. Look at that. Ready to move on to the next project. Links below for everything I used. Yeah, and I'll see you next time.